Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, ASUU confirms talks with federal government team as strike enters 7th day. ADC suspends former minister for alleged anti-party activities, and later on the show, federal government urged to introduce tax rebates for individuals and organizations investing in education, healthcare, food security and poverty eradication initiatives. Well, I'll be hanging out with Kaide, Ladede and Asuko James. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. When living in a community, one must recognize that behavior and content shared publicly can easily offend the moral and cultural sensibilities of others within that society. In Kano, that reality played out recently when a magistrate court ordered 2 TikTokers to marry within 60 days over videos seemed indecent and disrespectful to the cultural and religious values in the state. The duo, May Wushiria and Yarguda, were arraigned before the court on allegations of promoting immorality through their content. Delivering her ruling, Magistrate Welly warned that failure to conduct the marriage within the stipulated period would amount to contempt of court. Okay, gentlemen of the press, Asuko James, I mean, this court order raises a number of issues and questions, but can the courts mandate marriage as remedy or sanction in this regard?
It's just very funny, you know, because that is not the work of the court. You understand? The court cannot mandate or force anybody to get married. In fact, it is against Section 37, Section 38, and Section 39.
I'm even looking at 35, 37, and 40 of the 99 Constitution.
1999 Constitution, you know, because if you look at it violates their rights. You know, first their right to private life and even family life.
True.
And it also violates even their own freedom for them to even associate. Because you cannot even force anybody to get married. If for instance, I hope that they will sit down, they have 60 days.
Yes.
They will sit down, look for a good lawyer who would appeal. You know, they have every right to appeal. Yes, we know that it might be based on Islamic laws. That is what the judge actually, came up with. But the thing is, you can't compel anybody to marry. It is by choice.
Exactly.
You know, it is by choice. Marriage is by choice, and that is why some people marry and then tomorrow they say they want to divorce. You know, why they are divorcing is because they have made up their mind based on certain things for them to, separate. So for this one, I know they listed a lot of things, that what they were doing was indecent. Come on, I've seen the video. Is more or less they are content creators. Some people might not like it. And I would maybe at some point we'll talk about what people should use as content creation. Because some people, to what you think might appeal to you, might not appeal to another person.
Exactly.
And so if you do not want to see certain things, there are some places in your phone that you can go and say, okay, I do not want to see certain things. And you
like
click
on cable TV, parental advice.
Exactly. So it will now stop you from watching some things. But these are just content creators. Because they are not challenged, they've not challenged this particular case. So we might not really see have a full grasp of how this case is going to be, because I've seen so many people commenting about it, and so many people are just wondering what is wrong with what is this.
I mean, like he said, sections 35, 37, 40 talk about freedom of association, your personal liberty and privacy here. But is it ethical to use marriage as a corrective tool for behavior termed indecent?
So maybe we should put it this way. I think the closest to being a lawyer is ASUU, you know. We're not lawyers, and the sections we've cited,
Yes.
lawyers will tell you that, okay, that should be the ground norm. I think we have provided enough premises for appeal. That is the people involved. But you know, when you're looking at the laws of the land, you're looking at religion, you're looking at cultural, and you're looking at so many things. And this, it is obvious that this is a case of Sharia law. And you know, the issue of Sharia law, if you do not subscribe to it, it should not affect you. But if these two people are subscribed to Sharia law, then it means that it's either they stay with the appeal within that confines of the law, or probably they approach the other kind of court that you and I are used to. So basically, I find it as a novel case, because when I look at it, just like everybody is surprised, I'm also surprised that, excuse me, force me to marry. That looks very, very abnormal in our climes. But I think it's something we should learn to study. Why would there be such things? What is it about the culture of the people of Kano that these people have actually infringed on? I think that's the analytical part of this.
What happens if either of the TikTokers refuse to marry?
And so,
As
definitely,
what legal consequence can the court?
It's a magistrate court.
It's a magistrate court.
So whatever they've done is binding on them. It's either they appeal, rather instead of ignoring it. You cannot just ignore a law that has been given.
Becomes a content,
if you don't file an appeal, you understand, or a motion of appeal, or some kind of thing to restrain them from implementing it, you will run into trouble. You will run into trouble. So, but I'm just saying that this is a program not just for Nigerians, for international community. So this looks very absurd to those of us who do not understand the details of what is acceptable. Because because if you look at it from our own understanding, this is not something that was even done on national TV. It was done on the phone, on the TikTok. There are laws guiding these things. That's why some things that cannot go on national TV, you can go on your phone. You understand? You can go on the social media and some other platforms. So I find it quite novel. I want to understand how this will lead to, and like you have done, two of you have done, you have provided enough premises for the lawyer to step in, because forcing someone to marry looks very, very germane and totally unacceptable to me.
Okay, well, we leave the rest, you know, for the lawyers to actually do the interpretation. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. Dialogue remains the most viable tool in resolving industrial disputes, especially within critical sectors like education. As the strike embarked upon by members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, enters its 7th day, the union has confirmed ongoing talks with the federal government's negotiation team, led by former head of service Yayale Ahmed. ASUU President Professor Christopher Piwona noted that areas of progress include the release of third-party deductions, payments of arrears of promotions, and mainstreaming of earned academic allowances, among others. Okay, ASUU's warning strike has entered its 7th day, and there are 7 demands on the table. It has entered its 7th day. I don't know, it kind of rhymes. But now that they said talks are ongoing and they said progress is being recorded, is there light at the end of the tunnel here?
Yes, we are seeing something that looks like light. You know, at least out of 7, we've seen 5.
5, okay.
So it means that they've crossed the 50% threshold.
Okay.
You know, so it means the federal government is really serious. In fact, I think before they even started this strike, the minister has always come out to say, we are still discussing, we are still talking, you know. So I think it's just a continuation of that particular dialogue, that particular talks. Because if they don't do this, it might linger. Even after 7 days, we'll hear another strike, you know. Okay. But this is heartwarming that at least the federal government, you know, is talking to them. They've not left that table, you know, and the table in the sense that all the issues, the major issues that concerns the lecturers, they are discussing them one after the other. There's a particular one that it is as far back as 2027. No, 2029, the renegotiated agreement. 2009, the renegotiated. That one, I know that they've kept that one somewhere.
Yeah.
It is something that they will still revisit, you know, as well as that of, you know, rehabilitation of, you know, the public school universities. That one too has been kept somewhere. But these other ones, the ones you just read out,
yes.
Mainstreaming of End Academic Alliance, release of the third-party deductions, which is like cooperative money and some other things. I think they've discussed that one because that one concerns them personally.
Absolutely.
You know, and they also discussed something about the victimization of ASUU members in Kaduna State University, LASU, as well as FUTO, Federal University of Technology, Owerri. So it means we are making headway. And like when they started this, I told people, I said, this is a government that said there would not be strike.
Yes, they did.
You know, they
it was
said
part of the campaign promise. 4 years is 4 years.
4 years is 4 years. This is just out of the 4 years, ASUU has taken 2 weeks. You understand? So they've taken 2 weeks out of the 4 years. So I know the federal government might not like it, but it is a pointer to the fact that ASUU members want something good from them. And the federal government, they are not sitting idly by. They are discussing, they are talking, they are communicating. What used to happen in the past is they might talk today, tomorrow they will go there, drink tea, and then they will leave and form another committee, and that committee will not meet again. But at least we are saying something. Since this strike started, they've been having meetings upon meetings to trash out this matter, and which is a plus for this government.
I mean, what concrete assurance should the federal government give to ensure that this round of negotiation has a lasting solution and not, rather than a temporary truce?
I think let me start with what they should not do. They should not politicize this discussion. They should not just make political statements. It's not enough for the president to declare that there will not be strike, and the people tasked with these responsibilities take it for granted. What I mean by this is, when this strike was to begin, we still hear people from the federal government saying that we have attended to all these issues. That looks to me like, who is fooling who here? Is it ASUU that is deceiving us, or is it the media that is not reporting the right thing? Now we can see what is going on, which means that don't politicize this issue. You've got to come out straight. You've got to open the books. Do you understand? You've got to open the books. Back in the days, they told us, and even in private universities and universities abroad, you know your day of admission. You know your day when you are going to graduate. You are not doing 4 + X. You understand? That is how bad it had been. And so if the government says there will not be strike, it's like saying subsidy is gone. You know, when people thought it was a joke, now we are 2 years into no more subsidy. So we should be 2 years into no strike. Do you understand? So we should take it very serious. All these issues that we have listed, they are things that should be discussed, and by Monday, latest by Monday is even too long, people should go back to school. Let students not be so uncertain about their future. Because now people will be saying, parents will start telling them, go and get busy. Go and spend some time in TVC so that you can learn something. It shouldn't be like that. You should be sure that in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, we'll be back to school. So I want sincerity on the part of government. I want government to take lecturers very, very seriously. They do a lot. They do a lot. I'm not talking about pardon my language, the useless lecturers who force people to do untoward things before they get marks. But for those who are building our future, who are building reformers, who are building leaders, those set of people shouldn't be taken for granted. And this thing should be taken seriously. I think one other issue, maybe that's the part ASUU has not touched, is this issue of proliferation of schools.
Yeah, I think they put a pause to that.
So I think it's a good call by LASU. This will help us to consolidate on what we have.
We
have
now,
so many schools. And they even want this law to extend to private universities. I don't know whether that is asking for too much, but it's a way of saying that let us make what we have very powerful. And that's when they give them that moratorium.
Yeah.
All right, I'll rephrase that same question. Okay, I mean, what mechanism should be put in place so that the promises made during these negotiations are implemented and not just left on paper?
Yeah, I think from what the minister said, there's a 150 billion naira, allocated for issues concerning the tertiary institution. So part of that money would definitely be used, for this, because the issues that concerns their welfare has to be dealt with. I don't see a lecturer, for instance, a university professor, earning 500,000 naira, and you want that professor to function well.
I mean, why should a professor earn half a million?
It doesn't make sense. Okay, or a lecturer earning 200K.
He will have to sell textbook. He will force students to sit by textbook.
He will definitely look for what is it called, a business center.
Exactly.
Formulate one course outline. And then force everybody to buy.
And if you don't buy, you won't pass my course.
Of the teaching in a private university.
Of course.
And abandon his primary job.
Definitely. Or maybe bringing, sometimes some people just used to tell me that they'll bring food stuff and then they'll come and sell, and you must buy. You understand? So all these things has to stop, So we must not get to a point whereby our lecturers will be, their attitude and their character will be demeaning, to people. And when you look at it, you say, oh, my lecturer, this is what he's doing, or this is what she's doing, So we must make sure that our lecturers are given that respect and regard.
Exactly.
Somebody was saying we should see education as an investment.
True.
It is.
True.
You understand?
It is.
Because what we are doing is trying to make education like an expenditure. Oh, it's education. Oh, yeah, put money there. No.
It's an investment.
We must see it as something that when people go there, they get from it. They invest. People invest in that. You are investing your time, and when they are leaving, they become investors in the educational sector.
Exactly, because they give back.
So that is how it has to be. Because that is how it's done everywhere around the world. And that's why you see some people, when you go outside, people come back to say, okay, we want to give back.
Exactly.
To my institution. Because of what the university or...
All right, but let's also look, we talk about the impact of the strike on the lecturers, now on the students now. Let's look at the impact of the strike on the students' academic calendars. You want to quickly chew on that?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to, for 2 weeks, 2 weeks is going to affect them, particularly those who are even preparing to either leave the school, for service, or those who are preparing for final exams and all that, or for exams. It's going to affect them. I just want to appeal to ASUU, because I heard that they had a meeting. They've been having meetings, their Congress meetings around, and some of them are insisting that they should continue with the strike. But NEC is the one that would either give the finality on whether to call it off.
Okay.
But with what we are seeing, I feel ASUU, if they feel that the federal government is sincere. Okay, they should be able to, say, okay, fine. When are you starting? It shouldn't just be a meeting of going, okay, ticking it. Or ticking the boxes. It should be a meeting of deliverables.
Okay.
When is this one going to be paid? When is this one going to be delivered? When is it? Let them set it out and then send it out. And even let the media know that on so day, they've said they are going to give us. Because what I notice is that most times they go to these meetings, and at the end of the day, we don't get to know the nitty-gritty in all these things. It's just general, oh, they've called off strike, and that is it. It is when the thing has hooked them, they will now come and say they want to go on strike. It shouldn't be like that. Now this is the opportunity. We are giving ASUU this opportunity now. After this meeting, where and what have you discussed in your meeting? What did the federal government promise to give, or when are they going to give you this XYZ? Let the people know, so that even when, that is what we call accountability. We can now hold the government now to account and say, okay, you said on January or October so time, you are going to pay ASUU members XYZ amount of money. Have you done that? If they've not done that, it's even a plus for the federal. They will come out, we have done it. You understand? So, but they must hold them to account. And that's what we want, so that the students do not sit at home. Most of them now, they've started doing other things. We don't know what they are doing. Some are doing internship in so many places. And you know, because based on how our curriculum is, most of them are not into either IT or into technical knowledge, industrial whatever, any experience. So
and some are just sitting down.
Some are just sitting down and watching Netflix. So the best thing now is for us to see how we can take them back to school, so that they will finish up their education.
Okay, all right, but just in 1 minute, because we need to go on this quick break. I mean, do you think this continuous instability could push more students and lecturers to seek opportunities abroad, which could also worsen the brain drain that we're talking about?
Yes, and yes, it is. Definitely when you have any sign that things are not the way you want, you will definitely plan alternative. However, the good thing about what I'm seeing is that Yayali Ahmed is brought back. This is someone who has submitted a report, and it appears people are not following those recommendations in nitty-gritty. So he is back, and I can see that the House of Representatives, the Senate, they are also, you know, putting so much interest in those things. But beyond these individuals, we should make it an institutional thing. The key word is see it as an investment. I think it's something that we should not take for granted. Trust me, when we have more educated people, there's less crime.
Yes.
When we have more educated, informed people, the level of engagement and accountability from government is more, you know, more thorough. But when you have, I listened to Fashola today, just an aside, you know, Fashola was saying that let's involve our children in this party. Let's even have APC clubs, you know, in different schools. What he's saying is, it's time to carry the youth along. Don't let them see us as we don't care about them. Do you understand? So let's just take the youth as the fulcrum of all our conversation.
Absolutely.
And if we could do that, trust me, there will be a kind of transgenerational impact.
But gentlemen, is it possible for we to have universities that are financial autonomy for universities? I mean, where they can manage their IGR and stop this dependence on federal subventions.
It was one of the things that they were suggesting, and I know that at some point some schools say no, they still have to.
Because it has a grave implication too.
A great one.
Whereby they make their money themselves.
That will suffer
because
they will have to increase.
You know what they call IGR?
IGR, because it means
you will be looking for money anyhow.
Federal government will not give you support
but
again.
We have NELFund.
NELFund is just a loan that you will pay in future.
When you are working.
When you start working.
It's a good intervention. It's to say that don't be denied when you want to go to school, especially if you have done well in your exams.
Exactly. That is NELFund.
That's an intervention.
But for schools, most of these schools, if you know the quantum of infrastructure that is begging for attention in most of these public universities, I'm not sure there's any public university in Nigeria that can take care of them without federal government support.
Okay.
The hostels,
no matter what.
the classrooms.
I remember even in Unilag then, they used to have Unilag pure water. How many would they sell?
They have another diploma program.
They have diploma program.
If you see the cost of that one.
Even if the money is much, how many people, it still can't be enough for the public to take care of the university.
So they can't just do without the federal subvention.
So that is why we are saying that it is an investment. So we need to make our public universities look like a private business that people can even say, okay, fine. Faculty of Arts.
Okay.
I want to invest in it. I want to do this, in Faculty of Art and see how I can, just invest in Faculty of Art.
I also agree with you. Alumni should be carried along.
Exactly.
Have a lot to also do to their alma mater.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go away.
Quality, why doesn't cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, you sef go make am. No go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course na, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira will be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Asuko James right here with us and Kaidi Ladedi. So straight to our next conversation. Internal discipline remains crucial to the survival of any political party. As such, the African Democratic Congress ADC has suspended its national vice chairman for South-South, Usani Uguru Usani, over alleged anti-party activities. The party made the decision at a meeting of the Cross River State Working Committee of the party. The committee also called for the replacement of the party's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Jackie Wyas, for lack of consultation with the state's leadership before she was appointed. Okay, the ADC anti-party has already started, but let's focus on the ex-minister. I mean, what specific anti-party activity, is the ADC accusing the ex-minister, Dr. Osani, of committing here?
Well, most times people, when you hear anti-party, somebody's going to a particular party, a function, and maybe the function is being populated by the opposition party. And then at the end of the day, they will just feel that he's doing anti-party. You understand? This is a new party that is even standing with one leg.
That's why I'm surprised.
At the end of the day, they are already suspending somebody. You begin to wonder, are these people serious? It's too early for things like this, because anybody that is even making effort to see if this can be a strong opposition to the APC, they will be looking at when did these people start and they are suspending somebody. They have to start thinking. There are some things that political parties, especially ADC, because some people, to me, I just feel that it's just a party of formers. Former this, former that, former that.
Okay,
is
X this, X that.
X this, X that. You understand? That is what the ADC is all about now. But they need to find themselves because what they've just succeeded in doing is to try and make Nigerians begin to doubt them. Okay. It's too early for you to suspend. Yes, somebody might do something that you don't like. First, start with investigation before you start suspending. Because we like putting the cart before the horse. Okay. Have you even investigated what he has done? If you have not even investigated, because they said investigation is ongoing, so it means that you are suspended. You understand? So you finish with the investigation, then come out with what your investigation actually got, and then from there you suspend the person. And if you want to remove him from the party, you expel him completely from the party. But because right now there's nobody that we hear that ADC has suspended. Everybody will just be like, when did they even form this party and they're already suspended?
But looking at the gale of defections, will you blame them, if they are suspecting, and once they see you take a photograph with...
so you can't take a decision on suspicion.
You see, that is what we are talking about. We mentioned section 37, section 38, and section 39.
Freedom of association.
Of course, everybody has freedom. Except you want to tell me that ADC is going to be an authoritarian party, whereby once they see you with APC or PDP, then you're a suspect. Oh, they shouldn't do like that.
It doesn't look like the ex-minister was given a fair hearing here.
See, I think we've been around, we've covered politics to know that this is just someone out to take someone out. I can tell you. I can
just
tell
to
you
take
for
him
free.
out of the game.
I don't have to wait for his response. I don't have to even wait for fair hearing. It is about someone doesn't want him to be there.
What happens to internal democracy then?
For example, I don't know what the ADC constitution is all about, but most of the party constitution we've been reading, this person should have been suspended by his word. From his word. This state taking decision and saying the deputy publicity secretary should be replaced, you will know that this is a Hatcher's job. They want this person out and they want to come in. And even if that person, because when you say anti-party, go and read that statement. It's not clear. He said violated the constitution of the party. What exactly did he do? I'll give you a practical example. I was trying to look for a contact to the man that is celebrating his 90 years in a few days' time. That's Adebutu. And I'm like, okay, how do I get this person so that they can do business with us and do a live coverage and stuff? And somebody was telling me, if they find out that I have the man's number, if they find out that I know this person, I can be accused of antipathy. I'm telling you.
Just because you have the contact of the
you should understand. I said, this is a businessman before his son went into politics. Let us get the necessary information. So I feel this is totally condemnable. This is not something we should be celebrating at this time. If he is engaged in antipathy, state it clearly. State it clearly. As he come out to say, do not vote for ADC, vote for APC, that's antipathy.
Yeah, exactly.
If he identifies by carrying the flag of the other party, that's a clear antipathy activity. What is the statement he made? Was it on national TV where he said, hey, I don't think ADC is heading somewhere? That's an antipathy. Give us clear examples. I don't have to wait for the former minister to react before I will tell you that this is pure internal politics. And it's not good for them.
It's just like saying, when you see lawmakers, if they want to remove somebody, they'll say gross
misconduct.
The true definition of gross misconduct.
At the end of the day, the courts will vilify him.
Yes.
And so the time of the court has been wasted. The man has been denied salary. You saw what happened to the deputy governor of Edo State that time.
Yeah.
He was just removed because we don't want you to be there when the election will happen.
Exactly.
So these things are just Nigerian politics kind of game, and it shouldn't be encouraged. So fair airing comes in when we can establish that he was even kicked out on a justifiable ground.
Exactly.
So that you understand that I'm not dodging your question.
I get you.
So fair airing, it's totally uncalled for. Have you set up a committee? Did the ward, maybe ADC form a different constitution to what we know about PDP, about APC, about...
Maybe their own constitution is different.
Just start from the state.
Maybe they don't need your response.
Exactly.
Maybe they don't need you to go to ward. The ward cannot sanction you, so you go straight to the states. So maybe it might be in their constitution.
But that's faulty.
But that goes against internal democracy inside the party, in the political party.
So let's leave it at maybe. Like somebody said a joke, if you're born in May, your case is maybe.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our final conversation. Let's talk tax now. A tax rebate is a reduction in tax liability offered by governments to stimulate the economy. Its essence is to get more cash into the hands of consumers for re-injection into the economy. In Nigeria, the federal government has been urged to introduce tax rebates for individuals and organizations investing in education, healthcare, food security, and poverty eradication initiatives. During the Inner City Mission Global Roundtable in Lagos, Pastor Titus Temison of Christ Embassy noted that while poverty may never be eradicated completely, its impact can be reduced drastically through collective compassion and legislative incentives. Okay, tax. Nobody likes the tax man, but this time tax rebate. The tax rebate for individuals and organizations invested in health, education, food security, and poverty eradication. Is this a good idea?
Well, it's good, because it would encourage more people, to see how they can invest in education and help people. In fact, it's just to reduce the burden on people.
Okay.
Because if you look at some people, there's tax rebates, that is where tax refund comes in.
Yes.
If you overpay that is when government can say, okay, fine, we want to refund
you.
Okay. And that also helps to stimulate the economy one way or the other. Because once you know that if I'm doing something, I'm overpaying my tax, government would, give me back my money.
Okay.
I can invest in education. I can invest in healthcare. I can invest in even giving people. From what you just read,
yes,
they were actually giving out, incentives to people. So they are also looking at maybe a form of maybe what they should have even used shouldn't even have been rebates. It should have been maybe like tax relief. you know, for companies.
Okay.
There was one they did for Dangote and Co. Companies, individuals can ask for it from government, and saying there are institutions, just like we are even talking about public universities. You can go and say, okay, I want to repaint a particular institution, and I do not want to pay tax in XYZ time. And government can look at it and see if it's a genuine thing, and then they will give you that relief as a company or as an individual. You know, I don't know if the new tax law, you know, has a room for things like that. Okay, you understand? Has a room for things like this, and if it does, it's fantastic. You will see so many people who want to come in to assist, to give government a helping hand, because it's more like also giving government a helping hand.
And to stimulate the economy here.
Completely, because so many people, you know, will even be taken out of that poverty line.
Absolutely.
Know, because right now we cannot eradicate poverty, we can only reduce it.
Okay, but Nigeria needs money. How feasible is this for the federal government to do this tax rebate? We'll talk about that right after this break. Don't go away.
Your skin is your wealth and perception is reality. Upgrade to affordable luxury brands from the La Roche-Posay range and the CeraVe range. Download the Conga app and shop on conga.com, MedPlus, Bido Pharmacy, Net Pharmacy, and Alpha Pharmacy. Conga Health, a subsidiary of Conga Group, is the exclusive distributor of L'Oreal Dermatological Beauty, world's #1 dermatological beauty brand. Your skin is your wealth and perception is reality. Upgrade to affordable luxury brands from the La Roche-Posay range and the CeraVe range. Download the Conga app and shop on conga.com, MedPlus, Bido Pharmacy, Net Pharmacy, and Alpha Pharmacy. Conga Health, a subsidiary of Conga Group, is the exclusive distributor of L'Oreal Dermatological Beauty, world's #1 dermatological beauty brand.
Food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam porridge. Cooked to impress.
All right, welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. So,
government needs money.
How feasible is it for the federal government to introduce tax rebates without worsening our Nigeria's tight fiscal position?
I think what the man or the group is asking for is on point in terms of rebate. But I think in my language or in Asuko's word, I think they should be asking for relief. But let's stay on what they have asked for, rebate. Now, you need to claim, you need to prove it. You need to explain to people that this is what you have been doing. Because there must be an empirical proof.
Okay.
You understand? Before they can refund this money to you. This happens abroad, but I think it's more of relief. You know, if you have pets in your house, do you know that some things are cut off from your tax system abroad?
Yeah, that's over there.
No. Where I'm going is, let's be careful. Some people will not abuse this.
They abuse.
Because I've seen people who don't really like animals, but because they want a tax relief, they are coping with the cat. And if they find out that you don't really love this cat that you have put in your house, they will seize it just like they will seize your child that you're not taking care of. So it's for us not to allow people cut corners. It's a lovely idea. It's something that we should encourage, whether in the name of CSR or in the name of having enough proof that you have done this for this street, for all these non-profit organizations like some churches around what do you call it now? The Winners Chapel, what they are doing on the road, building bridges. Such people, you know, I know they don't pay the real tax that we talk about, but we have seen a situation where if you're working there and you're collecting salary, you should pay tax. So those things are going to be straightened out in this new tax reform. But having said that, I think the most important thing is everything he has asked for is on point. And I think government should consider it. What is important is government should do their thorough check, let the people in the system not use it to cut corners with those people who are asking for those taxes. But if it will be abused, government should not consider it. If it will not be abused, it's quite in order.
I mean, Kaide has raised a very serious well, because if this will work, what mechanisms do you think should be put in place to prevent such abuse, such as false reporting of social investments? You know, just to reduce tax liability.
Yeah, so I think that is a very valid, you know, suggestion. We need to make sure that people who want this tax rebate, we know where they are from.
Okay.
You know, we know their addresses.
We antecedents as well.
We know their revenue, their income, and those who will benefit. It might not just be only the organization, maybe individuals in that organization, with everything, with proof. Because at the end of the day, you just find that one obscure NGO from somewhere will just come and say, oh, we are doing this, and we have been doing it since 10 years. You know, and at the end of the day, you now check their books. Maybe they just registered last year, CAC.
Yes.
By the time you start, because we do not, government will have to check. So I think that's why maybe they will have to create maybe an ombudsman. You know,
to monitor,
to check before they have to go there, think about this initiative. It's a laudable initiative, you know, because most churches are right now trying to see how they can help people, give that relief to people, you know, just to pull one or two families out of poverty. Okay. So if government will look at this angle and say, okay, fine, we want to see how this can help for now. They must make sure that they set up a little committee that will be able to look at, okay, which company or which individual can we give this rebate. It shouldn't be an all-comers affair, because once you open the gates, the floodgates, you will be shocked at the number of NGOs that will want to come from.
That will want to come.
So
part of it
we
is
must
food security. I can just, okay, there's a little farm.
Exactly. So we must make sure that we do not allow people to just come with fictitious names and claims. And at the end of the day, instead of government benefiting from this whole thing, they are
and it might end up becoming a racket between
the
people working there and the people collecting. They'll go and share. What are we talking about?
So
we see it in NYC.
We must make sure that we cut corruption in everywhere possible. You know, that is why even the 2026, by the time the tax laws, you know, come out, we want to see, government want to see how much they'll be generating. That is why all federal agencies, they are all moving their money straight to one account by next year. Okay, so if government is going to consider this, they will have to look at it. Will it be beneficial? Will it help people? Who are the people? You know, who are the companies? Maybe they can even draw up, you know, something that if you want to benefit, these are the criterias, you know, for you to, you know, benefit from this. You know, perhaps maybe it might be if it's a church, for instance, how many branches do you have? When were you established? Who are the number of workers that want to benefit from this rebate? Or how much as a church do you want to benefit? You know, how much have you been paying? Churches don't pay tax anyway. So, but at least individuals who are working and are paying tax, you know, and they want rebates, you know, government will have to look at it. It's a very good idea. It's a a good suggestion.
But do you think subnationals should also be encouraged, you know, to replicate this kind of tax incentive?
Of course.
Because we're looking at federal government now, you know, for the state governments as well.
So whatever form of taxes the request is coming, you know, if it is solely federal, then we should take out subnationals. Well, because I don't know whether it's income tax or whichever tax he's talking about. But what is most important is such persons should be encouraged, especially people who are investing in education, people who are building schools, building laboratories,
building hospitals,
you know, People
and
should
even
be able
resettlement for food, food security.
They should be encouraged because we are seriously reducing poverty. Eradication of poverty looks very, very
and
impossible.
at the end of the day, it will stimulate the economy a great deal.
Exactly.
But anyway, gentlemen, it's a fine place for us to leave it. Kaidila Dende, thank you so much.
You mean we're done?
Yeah. How time flies. It's a fine place for us to It's a fine place for us to leave it. Kaidila Dende, thank you so much for doing this. So that's Asuko James.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back.
Thank
it's
you
good
so
to
much.
have you
Thank
back.
you
You
so
look
much.
fresher, your check, everything is all coming out. That rest is good.
It's
The
good.
rest is good. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga. Bye for now. God bless Nigeria.